Hello, my name is Jillian Burgos, and I'm running for Los Angeles City Council District 2. I'm a small business owner, essential healthcare worker, lifelong renter, and neighborhood council member. As the chair of the Housing and Services Committee, I have been a fierce advocate for my community, creating a tenants' rights workshop in partnership with the City of Los Angeles, Abundant Housing LA, and SAGE, helping pass several neighborhood purpose grants to feed and provide wraparound services for many of NoHo's unhoused, and bring mental health services and mentorship to school children with PISA. I've also worked to bring care to public safety by advocating for unarmed crisis response with LA Forward. My campaign is not just about winning an election. It's about building a bridge from the Valley to City Hall and prioritizing the needs of Council District 2. By focusing on preventative services and community solidarity, I aim to create a more equitable and inclusive future for all residents. My mother instilled the values of compassion and empathy for others, as well as the importance of service and giving back. These lessons became even more poignant after I tragically lost multiple family members due to the failures of our government. It was then that I was inspired to make a change, and I knew I had to step up. I decided to run for office to ensure that no other family has to endure the same hardships and struggles that mine did. Through my work with grassroots organizations like LA Forward, I have been a tireless advocate for change. I am running for Los Angeles City Council to put an end to status quo politics and address the housing crisis that plagues our city. Every healthy community begins with housing for all. That's why our city's housing crisis will be my main focus. Rents are unaffordable. The rise of homelessness is crushing. And our tax dollars have been spent on half measures. I want to bring and work on real solutions that provide permanent housing and give our unhoused neighbors wraparound support to stay housed. I will also push to protect renters by implementing universal just cause protections and making sure that Right to Counsel program is properly funded. My dedication to uplifting the voices of our community has garnered endorsements from City Controller Kenneth Mejia, Culver City Mayor Yasmin Imani McCoran, Burbank Vice Mayor Nikki Perez, Dolores Huerta, and numerous progressive organizations such as California Nurses Association, LA Forward, California Women's List, NUHW, and IATSE B192. You deserve someone in City Hall who cares about you and will listen to you, not corporate donors. That is my pledge to you. I will focus on what is right and just for the everyday people of CD2 and inspire the next generation of leaders to step up into public service and do the same. I'm Jillian Burgos. Vote for me on November 5th, and let's make our vision for the Valley a reality.
Hi, I'm Adrien Nazarian. I'm a lifelong community organizer right here in the San Fernando Valley, fueled by the hardships my family faced as immigrants. I knew then as an 8-year-old what I still hold to be true, that all families, no matter what their status is, deserve to have a place they can call home and afford a healthy and happy life. Yet too many families today struggle to afford basic necessities such as food, housing, and gas. We are grappling not only with homelessness and sky-high housing prices, but trust in our very own local government. Like you, I'm tired of seeing corruption at City Hall. It's disheartening when the very institutions that hold the public's trust become tainted by self-interest and unethical practices. Our community deserves better representation, better accountability, and a City Hall that works for each and every one of us. Like you, I'm tired of seeing the struggles young people, renters, seniors, and working families with young children face with the rising cost of living. We have to fight to make the Valley an affordable and thriving place once again. My wife and I are raising a family of 3 right now, and I know how difficult it can be. That is why I'm running for Los Angeles City Council. I'm running because I'm committed to fighting for you, for affordable housing, fair rents, and a humane solution for our unhoused neighbors. I'm proud to be endorsed by Mayor Karen Bass, Planned Parenthood, U.S. Senator Alex Padilla, and the Los Angeles firefighters because I am a trusted leader who will stand up for our community and ensure our Valley residents have access to essential services like street cleaning, safe sidewalks, fast emergency response times, and mental health services to help our unhoused neighbors stay off the streets. I'm Adrien Nazarian, and I'd be honored to have your vote. For more information, please visit adriennazarian.com. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Heather Hutt, City Councilwoman for the 10th District. I'm running for a new term, and I'm here today to share with you a little about me and ask you for your vote. One thing that my life and career has taught me, if you don't fight, push, and demand your rights, you simply won't get them. I'm committed to fighting for the rights of working people and their families, and I won't back down. I'm currently the councilwoman for Los Angeles 10th District. I'm the first woman in the history of Los Angeles to represent this council district. The road here was an interesting one. I was born and raised in the district, raised my 3 sons here, and have built my life and career here. From being a home care worker for SEIU to founding my own small business to serving as statewide director from California to U.S. Senator and now Vice President Kamala Harris. I put my life and soul into improving the community and the lives of the people who live here. As a public servant for over 30 years, I'm focused on improving the lives of people who work for a living. With Senator Harris, we fought to help employees get a fair contract and improve their lives and opportunities. On the council, I fought for a better quality of life for all city residents, and I've partnered with nonprofits, labor, and our community groups to push for the needs of families to thrive again and again. And I'm not afraid of a fight. My priority for next year are investing in housing, jobs, and the city's infrastructure. They include making Los Angeles a safe, affordable place to live and addressing the homelessness crisis. Supporting small business and bringing high-wage middle-class jobs back to our community through investment in public infrastructure, project labor agreements for city construction projects, and targeting local hire, and expanding access to after-school and apprenticeship programs. Improving city services by investing in tree trimming, street repaving, pothole repair, community events, a new park, and reducing staff caseloads so that all residents have access to high-quality services. As a councilwoman, my priority will always be to serve. In the first months of my tenure, we've increased our capacity, have accelerated services and resources to residents, and permanently housed over 1,500 residents in the district. We are doubling down on our investment to house our unhoused neighbors, investing in city facilities and making our constituents proud to call this district their home, because this district is our home too. I'm Heather Hutt, and I'm asking for your vote for City Council. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Grace Yu, and I'm running for Los Angeles City Council District 10 to bring trusted leadership and a fresh perspective to City Hall. We all know the challenges we're facing: public safety, a lack of affordable housing, homelessness, and unreliable city services, just to name a few. We have the resources to fix these problems, but unfortunately, what's been missing is the political will to get it done. I have the drive, commitment, and experience to deliver on the real solutions our district needs and deserves. As an attorney, former LA City Commissioner, and community leader, I have fought for local communities, working families, and those without a voice. In my efforts to hold the city accountable to the residents and business owners in District 10, I ended up taking the city to court 3 times. Once to save the trees and protect the environment, another to prevent zoning violations, and lastly for fair representation during redistricting. As your next council member, I will make public safety a top priority, ensuring that first responders have the tools and resources to effectively do their jobs and keep our streets safe. To tackle the housing crisis, I will cut through the red tape to make it easier to build new affordable housing, and rehab old buildings that sit vacant. When it comes to homelessness, providing shelter and long-term housing is essential, and to achieve true success, we must address the root causes, such as addiction, mental health, and financial insecurity. There are glaring issues within City Hall. Corruption has been so prevalent within our city government that people are no longer surprised when the FBI raids City Hall. This is not acceptable and must change. As your elected council member, I will work to restore your trust in government. I will fight for ethics reform, and I will hold leaders accountable. Finally, I believe that city government is here to serve you, the residents. That's why I will make sure that you have access to reliable city services and that your calls are answered, not just sent to voicemail, and that office hours are extended to weeknights and weekends. City Hall needs to hear the issues that concern Angelenos, but our current leaders make it hard for our voices to be heard. As your next elected council member, I will bring the people's voice back to City Hall, and I will move to get the job done. I'm Grace Yu, candidate for District 10, and I respectfully ask for your vote. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Kevin Delio, and I'm running for re-election for your Council District 14. I'd be honored to have your support once again. When I led your California State Senate, I was proud to deliver on the nation's strongest environmental law, SB 100, so that everyone can breathe clean air. I made California the first sanctuary state in the nation, and I established a $2 billion bond for housing for mentally ill people living on the streets today, and another $4 billion bond for parks statewide. These are benefits that our communities continue to reap today. When you elected me to the City Council in 2020, I promised to tackle the homelessness epidemic, to address illegal dumping that blighted our streets, to improve our parks and the conditions in our neighborhoods, and fight gentrification. I'm not running for re-election on empty promises. I'm running on a proven track record of results, getting things done. When I took office, homelessness was on a steady rise. Now, homelessness has declined in our district for the first time ever, while it rose 11% citywide. That's because our team has built more homeless housing and put more people indoors than any other council district in Los Angeles. Together, we can continue driving homelessness down in our district. We're making quality of life improvements for every neighborhood, like creating an exclusive City 14 cleanup team with a staff of 24 local hires and a fleet of 9 new trucks to supplement city services to keep our neighborhoods clean. This is the only program of its kind in the entire city. While state leaders cut funding for families that can't afford food, I have funded a food program that has fed more than 50,000 struggling families in our district. We've led the effort to bring 2 new parks and 18 new state-of-the-art playgrounds to our district so our kids have access to the same high-quality recreational facilities that other neighborhoods in the city enjoy. Together, we fought against gentrification that's displacing working families from the neighborhoods they call home by pushing through the most progressive pro-family community plans in the city of LA that, for the first time, expands affordable housing and guarantees affordable units on new developments. Our district's future is brighter because of the work we've done to secure an unprecedented $145 million in outside grants, which we now can use to revitalize our parks, repair our streets and our sidewalks, and transform our neighborhoods by installing thousands of new lights and thousands more trees. Together, we have laid a strong foundation for our district, and we can build on these achievements, putting more people into housing, creating more affordable housing for working families, and investing in the projects that make our neighborhoods safer, cleaner, and more livable. I'm running for re-election because I won't give up on you. There's more to do and more to deliver for you, the residents of City 14. With your support, we can continue to bring the services and the resources that our district deserves. Thank you. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Isabel Jurado, and I'm running for Los Angeles City Council District 14. I'm a tenants' rights attorney, single mom, housing justice advocate, and a lifelong resident of District 14. I was born and raised in Highland Park, and I've watched as my neighbors and legacy businesses have been priced out because of luxury real estate developers who build fancy condominiums only the very rich can afford. That's exactly why I became a housing rights attorney, focused on combating gentrification-driven displacement. I spend my days protecting our neighborhoods from corrupt developers and politicians and creating innovative housing models like community land trusts and housing cooperatives. Since the 1960s, this district has been run by men who have resigned in disgrace, served single terms, been indicted for corruption, and called to step down over shady backroom deals. At some point, we have to ask ourselves, why do we keep electing the same career politicians and expecting different results? It's time to try something different. I'm the daughter of undocumented immigrants, a public transit rider, a former teen mom, and a working-class Angelino who has navigated the challenges of poverty. I have held the line on countless strikes and defended truck drivers against the same wage theft my father faced. And I'm running to be the first woman and first Filipina to ever represent CD14. More importantly, I'm running to defend the working families of this community from corporate greed and City Hall corruption. I know that together we can tackle the homelessness crisis, we can guarantee dignified housing for all, we can fight for climate action, we can create safe streets, and we can deliver economic justice that uplifts small businesses and ensures that prosperity is shared by all of us. But the only way to get there is by electing council members who will not be swayed by special interest or personal gain, and who will unapologetically fight for the constituents they serve. That's why I'm running. I'll bring the institutional knowledge of a legal housing expert and the lived experience of a queer, immigrant-raised, working-class, woman of color, a battle-tested representative for and from the community.
Hello, my name is Khalid Alalim. I am very excited to be running for LAUSD School Board in Board District 1. I was born and raised in South LA and attended LAUSD schools. I have been a parent in BD1 for 20 years. My kids have attended our community schools, and I have graduates from Crenshaw and Dorsey High. I have been on the front lines fighting to stop the privatization, reconstitutions, and co-locations in Board District 1. I am a proud union member and have always stood alongside educators and advocates. I was also president of the Park Mesa Heights Community Council, appointed to the LAUSD African American Education Task Force, and to LAUSD's Parent Advisory Committee. I have served on the school site committees and the local school leadership councils. I have helped spearhead the community schools effort and the creation of the Black Student Achievement Plan, so the next generation of students will be able to take advantage of targeted supports to help them succeed. I joined UTLA when it went on strike for mental health supports, class size reduction, and to end the school-to-prison pipeline. My community and parent activism are driven by my belief that people should have the opportunity to learn from each other, civically engage the challenges we all face, correct misunderstandings, and have respectful and truthful conversations. My activism has not stopped. I will continue to fight for better public education and serving the communities of Board District 1. As a parent, an advocate, and a leader in our schools and community for over 20 years, as someone who has experienced the limitations and the possibilities of LAUSD, I am ready to serve as your school board member so we can transform this district. Join me as we create schools that truly empower our youth and revitalize our communities. I'm Khalid Alalim at khalidforschoolboard.com. Thank you for your support.
Greetings, my name is Charlotte Hendy Newbill, and I'm a candidate for LAUSD Board District 1. I am proud to have the endorsement of the incumbent, Dr. George J. McKenna III, also the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, and the Los Angeles Times and the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper. Born and raised in District 1 to immigrant parents, I began my educational journey at 24th Street School Elementary and graduated from Dorsey High School. I earned a bachelor's degree in psychology from Xavier University in New Orleans, Louisiana. When I returned, I taught at Dorsey High School and have spent the last 25 years there as a teacher, as a coach, as well as UTLA Union Vice Chair, as well as an athletic director and dean of students. I am currently the educational policy advisor for the current board member in District 1, Dr. George McKenna. He announced his decision to retire from the board at the end of the term in December 2024 and has graciously endorsed me to replace him. As the wife of a SEIU Local 99 LAUSD employee and the mother of 2 sons who attend LAUSD schools within Board District 1, I'm a lifelong public educator. I understand the importance of having a teacher and parents' perspective on the board. Some of my accomplishments have been working with parents, teachers, and the union to prevent our neighborhood schools from closing, supported increased parent, grandparent, and caregiver involvement and engagement in our schools. I've helped restore college counselors and nurses to our schools, advocated for reduced class size so that every child receives more individualized attention. I've collaborated with various stakeholders for successful facility renovation projects. What I will advocate for as a school board member is support policies and programs that promote comprehensive safety in all of our schools. Help establish full-service community schools that would have quality programs like Black Student Achievement programs, English language learners, as well as special ed. Insist on wraparound health, mental health, social and family services. Support innovative programs at our campuses that promote student achievement through expanding internships, apprenticeships, for example, in healthcare, construction, and non-traditional areas like teaching and technology. Expand the connection and relationship between our community stakeholders and the school district for greater accountability. Increase facility renovation projects, which include our greening and retrofitting for safer schools. Use your power to vote this November for an educator, a coach, and a mother. Charlotte Hendy Newbill, I'll be your voice on the school board. Visit us at www.charlotte.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Chang. I'm a math teacher at James Madison Middle School in North Hollywood, and I'm running for the LA Unified School Board, District 3. Board District 3 covers the San Fernando Valley, from Studio City, Sherman Oaks, and Van Nuys, to West Hills, Chatsworth, Northridge, Porter Ranch, Granada Hills, and Canoga Park. As a public school teacher, I see that every day the road my students have to travel to reach their dreams is getting harder and longer. Students just aren't getting the educations they need to compete in today's economy. And myself and my fellow teachers, we are bogged down in endless mandates from the downtown bureaucracy. And I'm a math teacher, so the proof is in the numbers. In Los Angeles today, about 60% of students do not read at grade level. About 70% of students can't do math at grade level. And guess what? Those numbers have not changed in the nearly 20 years that I have been working in public education. So one thing is clear, LA Unified has to change. And that's why I'm running for LA Unified School Board. Now, I've made change at every level of the district. As a teacher, I'm making change every day in the classroom, changing my students' minds about what they can accomplish in math and hopefully about what they can do in their lives. I've also made change at the school level. In 2008, I led the turnaround of LA Unified's most troubled high school, a school named Locke High School in Watts. I've also made change at the district level. In 2011, I co-founded a philanthropy with the then superintendent to raise money for critical programs in LAUSD. Now, there are 3 changes that I think we need to make immediately to improve our public schools and give every student the education they deserve. My first priority is to cut the downtown bureaucracy. By reducing the budget and the number of administrators downtown, we can return funding to school sites and give teachers and principals the autonomy they need to improve instruction. Second, we're going to improve academic results by ensuring that every school implements an English curriculum based on the science of reading, and every school has a math curriculum with numeracy built in at every level. And finally, we need to ensure that student safety and joy is brought back into our classrooms. Students learn best when campuses are free from violence and the menace of drugs, and students are excited to come to school when we provide the extracurricular activities that make school fun. So if you think LA Unified needs change, then please visit www.changforchange.org. My name is Dan Chang. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Scott Mark Schmerlson, and I am currently a member of the LAUSD Board of Education representing Board District 3 in the Northwest and Central San Fernando Valley, and I am running for re-election. Before my retirement, I was a lifelong educator for 5 decades. I began my career as a high school Spanish teacher, then served as a middle school counselor and assistant principal, and finally as a principal for many years. I retired as the principal of Johnny Cochran Middle School in South Los Angeles after 10 years of leadership that included significantly improving test scores, a deteriorated physical plant, and the morale of students, parents, and teachers. My accomplishments on the board include facilitating parent participation in the IEP process for kids with special needs and establishing early screening and intervention for students with dyslexia. I have also expanded parent engagement by expediting and eliminating the cost of background checks for parent volunteers and by streamlining the process for the use of school facilities. As a retired principal who knows the importance of school safety, I work very hard with the City Attorney's Office to protect students and staff by making sure that families are aware of safe gun storage laws and by instituting more frequent drills for lockdown and evacuation procedures at school sites. In response to the deadly fires that set records in our own backyard, I work with concerned students and activists for the passage of a historic policy initiative to completely transition LAUSD to 100% clean, renewable energy by 2040. Nevertheless, since the COVID pandemic, we continue to face challenges to student health and learning that we have never imagined and that will undoubtedly impact the future of public education in Los Angeles for decades. Moving forward, the work will sometimes seem overwhelming, the learning curve will be steep, and experience will matter greatly. but by forging best practices with compassion and collaboration, I am confident that our students will emerge from this crisis stronger and better prepared to be leaders in a complex 21st century economy. I believe that I was an effective educator and school administrator, and that I have been an effective school board member. I proudly stand on my record of public service, and I hope that you will support my reelection to the LAUSD Board of Education.
Hello, my name is Carla Griego. I am a teacher and a parent running for school board in District 5. I emigrated to Los Angeles when I was 5 years old and educated in LAUSD schools. For nearly 20 years, I have been a special education teacher working with the most vulnerable population. I have worked in K-12 schools in Board District 5, and currently I am the Community Schools Coordinator at McAllister High School, an option school for pregnant and parenting minors. I am proud to be endorsed by over 37,000 teachers, librarians, counselors, nurses, and therapists in LAUSD. I have been inspired to run for school board by my daughter, a junior at Eagle Rock High School, and the many youth and families in LAUSD who have been fighting hard to be heard, valued, and represented. Throughout my career, I have worked with parents, colleagues, and community organizations to fight privatization of our schools and to bring more support for our students. I have led some of the work that has since turned into district policy. Some of these include lowering class sizes, having librarians at all secondary schools, and establishing community schools. My priorities are to support the whole child by providing mental health and social-emotional support to all of our students, enriching curriculum electives, career pathways, supports and resources for students with disabilities, and having safe schools for all students, especially our most vulnerable students, students with special needs, unhoused, foster, Black, and LGBTQ+ youth. My second priority is transparency and accountability of Superintendent Carvalho in charter schools. LAUSD budgets need to be comprehensible and shared with enough time to engage parents, students, caregivers, community members to provide input and priorities and needs. Charter schools need to be transparent and accountable to enrollment data, space usage at co-located schools, and monies owed to the district. My third priority is the expansion of community schools and the Black Student Achievement Plan. Community schools are the hub of the community, providing much-needed wraparound services to students and the community, and decisions are made collaboratively with caregivers, staff, teachers, students, and community members. The Black Student Achievement Plan is a much-needed investment in our Black youth and in all youth. BSAP schools provide one-on-one academic and career counseling to students, restorative justice, and school climate advisors. I am the only current teacher and parent candidate. I would be the first special education teacher on the school board and the first parent representing District 5. I will hit the ground running because I know the terrain and I've been doing the work on the ground. And I am the only candidate endorsed by over 37,000 teachers and educators.
I'm Graciela Grace Ortiz, and I'm running for LAUSD Board District 5. I'm on the November ballot, and I'm eager to serve you and your children in this capacity. I'm a proud product of LAUSD schools. I've experienced firsthand the transformative power of education. I'm a daughter of immigrant parents, the youngest of 4 and the first in my family to go to college. I was raised by a single mother who instilled in me the values of hard work and dedication to our community. After graduating high school, I earned my bachelor's degree in sociology at UCLA. I obtained a master's degree in social work at Cal State Long Beach, where I now teach second-year master's students. Currently, I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I'm in the final stages of completing my doctorate degree in educational leadership. My academic journey has equipped me with the knowledge and skills needed to address the challenges facing our educational system. I've worked for LAUSD since 2006, when I became a pupil services and attendance counselor. Over the years, I've worked in various communities, including many of the Board District 5 communities, providing counseling services and removing every possible barrier that impedes our children from attending school. I'm now a regional administrative coordinator for pupil services. In addition, I served on the Huntington Park City Council for 9 years, to include 2 years as mayor. I helped stabilize our city with a balanced budget, implemented policies for project labor agreements, and expanded services for our residents, including rent relief, first-time homebuyer programs, expanded parks programs, implemented free Wi-Fi in our city, and created a summer tutoring program for the children in our communities. My top priorities as a school board member are having fully funded schools. We need adequate staffing levels, including campus aides, special education assistants, bus drivers, and teachers. I've seen firsthand the need to expand our mental health and counseling services at every school in our district to provide our students the emotional support they need to be academically successful. Reducing class sizes and quality enrichment programs. Smaller class sizes and after-school programs that offer enrichment opportunities are critical to providing equitable and high-quality education. Safety. Safety is paramount for student success and a positive work environment. I will work to establish comprehensive safety plans for every school with ample supervision and fully funded building and grounds crews. I am the union candidate, as I am endorsed by Education Workers, SEIU 99, LA County Federation of Labor, SEIU 2015, ALA, Teamsters 572 and Joint Council, SEIU 121 RN, Buildings and Trades, and over 30 state and local elected officials. Together, we can create a brighter future for our children and strengthen our community through education. On November 5th, vote for the union candidate, Graciela Grace Ortiz.
Hi, I'm Los Angeles City Council member Paul Krikorian, and I'd like to talk to you about Charter Amendment DD on your November ballot. For 100 years, council members have had the last word on drawing their own district lines. Too often, they've used that power to draw districts that bolster their own chances of re-election, regardless of the impacts on our neighborhoods and our communities. Now, for the first time in our city's history, Charter Amendment DD will take that power away from elected officials and give it instead to an independent redistricting commission. 2 years ago, this city was shaken by scandal when a few council members were recorded trying to game the redistricting process for themselves while diluting the power of entire communities. Amendment DD will stop that kind of backroom dealing. Amendment DD will create the first truly independent redistricting commission in Los Angeles history. It's a vitally important step in reforming City Hall once and for all. This proposal was developed through months of extensive community engagement. Some reform experts have even referred to Charter Amendment DD as the gold standard of redistricting reforms. Every 10 years, a new commission will be selected to redraw council district lines. Applicants will be rigorously screened for potential conflicts of interest. No elected officials or their staff or family members. No candidates, lobbyists, or political consultants. Half of the commissioners will be selected from a pool of citizen applicants at random, like a lottery. They will then select additional members to ensure that the commission reflects the full diversity of our city, taking race, gender, age, income, and other factors into account. The entire process will be managed by the city clerk with no involvement whatsoever by the city council. These independent commissioners will ensure that no racial or ethnic communities are arbitrarily divided to dilute their opportunity for representation. Council districts designed by independent citizens, reflecting the full diversity of Los Angeles, will serve the public much better than those designed by politicians to serve their own personal ambitions. Fair elections in fairly drawn districts are essential to democracy and to effective city government. Once and for all, Amendment DD will let the voters choose their council members instead of the council members choosing their voters. So let's take the politics out of the redistricting process and put an end to the backroom dealing. DD stands for Democratic Districts. Vote yes on Charter Amendment DD for fair representation and a stronger democracy in Los Angeles city government. Thanks very much.
2 November ballot measures, DD and LL, would establish independent redistricting commissions for the City of Los Angeles and Los Angeles Unified School District. This would mean that regular community members would be responsible for drawing fair voting maps, not politicians. These maps determine who can run for office and who can represent you for an entire decade. Federal law requires the boundaries of council districts and school board districts to be redrawn every 10 years because of population changes. The redistricting process decides where boundaries are set and influences whether communities have fair representation on the City Council and the LAUSD Board, or whether communities are silenced. Redistricting determines representation. Evidence shows that maps drawn by community members lead to a fairer and more transparent redistricting process. Redistricting run by politicians silences our voices and lets them manipulate the system to hold on to power. Community-led redistricting uplifts our voices and ensures our needs come first. This new system would replace biased political insiders with a commission made up of everyday Angelenos representing communities across the city. To ensure fair maps and fair representation, Angelenos must vote to establish new guardrails in the city charter that puts communities and residents first, blocking politicians and their friends from gerrymandering our districts. This is exactly what measures DD and LL do. These measures would: 1. Ban politicians from meddling in the process by preventing backdoor communication. 2. Create independent redistricting commissions made up of community members who represent the diversity of LA. 3. Require fair district maps that strictly follow state and federal law and prevent favoring or discriminating against a political party. And lastly, require the commissions to operate with openness and transparency. Charter Amendments DD and LL puts important decision-making power back in the hands of Angelenos. Independent redistricting commissions are a proven, trusted, nonpartisan reform that has worked throughout California. They will allow unbiased residents within the city and LAUSD to draw maps based on input from the public, restoring power to where it belongs, with members of the community, not politicians. We urge you to vote yes on measures DD and LL.
Charter Amendment HH will get rid of outdated language in the city charter, close ethical loopholes, and provide for some much-needed reform to city governance. It will give the city attorney the power to subpoena witnesses and compel disclosure of evidence when investigating potential violations of law or other wrongdoing. The current language does not provide the city attorney with these necessary tools to pursue justice on behalf of the people of Los Angeles. It will give the city controller the authority to access the financial records and personnel of all contractors and subcontractors who expend or receive city funds. City contracting should be transparent, and those who receive city funds must be accountable for how those funds are spent. It will prohibit the council from approving any appointment to a city commission until the nominee's financial disclosure statements have been presented to the Ethics Commission, to the City Council, and to the public. It will give the council 30 days to review the possible financial or other impacts of voter initiatives before either enacting them or placing them on the ballot for the voters to decide. Voters should know in advance what impact a proposed initiative will have and what it will cost. And Charter Amendment HH will modify the composition of the Board of Harbor Commissioners to better represent the interests of communities most affected by the Port of Los Angeles operations. Our port serves as an economic engine for the entire region, with specific impacts on the immediate surrounding communities. By requiring local representation on the board, the measure will advance equity and fairness by elevating the concerns and experiences of harbor area residents, businesses, and the workers. For all of these reasons, vote yes on Charter Amendment HH.
Hi, I'm Los Angeles City Council member Paul Krikorian, and I'd like to take a minute to talk to you about Charter Amendment ER on your November ballot. Over 30 years ago, the people of Los Angeles voted to create a city ethics commission to ensure that public servants truly serve the public and obey the city's ethics rules. The vast majority of city employees and officials perform their duties conscientiously every day, and they respect our ethics rules. Unfortunately, there are some who will try to abuse their authority to enrich themselves or serve their own interests. In recent years, a few city officials betrayed the public and disgraced their positions by acts of corruption, and they've been punished under the law. An effective city government must be beyond reproach. The people of Los Angeles depend on the City Ethics Commission to discourage the kind of violations that undermine public confidence in government. Charter Amendment ER is the first significant ethics reform measure in the history of the Ethics Commission. It dramatically increases the penalties the Commission can impose for ethics violations, and it gives the Commission greater independence and insulates it from conflicts of interest. Among other things, Charter Amendment ER will triple the existing penalties for those who violate the ethics laws. ER will require the City Council to consider all Commission recommendations within 180 days. ER will give greater independence to the Ethics Commission by setting a minimum annual budget that the Commission controls without Council approval for specific expenditures. ER will allow the Commission to hire its own attorneys to investigate ethics violations and advise the Commission. ER will prohibit anyone who does any business with the city or has any financial interest in the city's actions from serving on the Ethics Commission. ER will prohibit elected officials from appointing relatives, campaign consultants, or major campaign donors to the Commission. So for the first time in 3 decades, we now have the chance to strengthen the Ethics Commission. I hope you'll vote yes on Charter Amendment ER to strengthen ethics enforcement and restore confidence in city government. Vote for real ethics reform in city government. Vote yes on reforming City Hall. Vote yes on Charter Amendment ER. ER for ethics reform. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Bob Blumenfield, and I urge you to vote yes on Charter Amendment FF. Measure FF is a simple measure that would give all law enforcement officers employed by the city the opportunity to be covered by the same pension plan, regardless of what department they work for. All of these officers must meet the same training and licensing requirements, perform similar functions, face similar risks, so they should be eligible for the same benefits. Measure FF is supported by the mayor, Karen Bass, former Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, a number of council members including Paul Krikorian, Monica Rodriguez, Tracy Park, John Lee, the Los Angeles Airport Peace Officers Association, the City Chiefs Park Ranger, and many others. In fact, there's no official opposition to this measure. It's a common sense measure. Today, peace officers employed by the LAPD are covered by the Los Angeles Fire and Police Pension Plan, as are new hires to the Port Police really since 2004 and the Airport Police since 2018. However, some peace officers employed by the airport, harbor, recreation and parks, LAPD are covered by the civilian plan, the LA Civilian Employee Retirement Plan, or what's called LACERS. Some, but not all of the peace officers covered by LACERS receive enhanced public safety pension benefits. This is a result of various changes to state law and the city charter over the past 20 years. This mishmash of different pension plans and benefits for some peace officers creates problems for the city and general confusion. This measure, Measure FF, will eliminate the disincentive for transfers among the city's law enforcement agencies, ensuring that highly qualified personnel can fill positions at other departments. It will also ease the administrative burden on the city by simplifying the pension categories which cover similar employees. Officers in both the Port and Airport Police are making a contribution to the cost of this change to reduce the fiscal impact on the city. Measure FF is smart, effective, it enhances your public safety and the efficacy of our government. I believe Measure FF deserves your support.